Hello, good morning everybody. Welcome to King Street Station in Seattle. Let's go jump on the Coast Starlight. There's a docent on board.
There it is, the world's largest egg. Quick, get a photograph of that.
One of the bonuses, by the way, of sleeper cars is all your meals are covered. We are, I think, stopped in Portland right now. We're going to be going back up into the mountains and into the Cascades. Hey, welcome to Sleeper Car Bed. We're up sometime in California. We're about to cross the border, actually. Good night and see you in the morning. Morning from Sacramento. We're at Sacramento Station right now waiting. I think we leave in about 10 minutes or so, but yeah, Roomette's the way to go. The bed is okay. It's not, it's not like a fancy hotel, but it's definitely comfortable. If you can stand the light, leave the windows open, especially on a clear night. It was so cool to see the stars and stuff just rolling by. It was really, really cool. Yeah, it was just a great experience overall on this thing. Breakfast will be in about 10 minutes or so. I gotta get myself cleaned up a little bit. Probably still wear train clothes from yesterday. There's showers later. I'll take you down, show you kind of what they look like and everything when we get there. We have 9 o'clock tonight. We roll into Los Angeles. And so we got one more day on the Coast of Starlight. Let's go make our way down and see what's for breakfast today. So when you come down for breakfast, they want you to wait this little entryway until they wait. Whoa! Until they wave you over. About fell over there. Well, Santa I may not do it, but I guess I'll do a little bit here of a little mini room tour since everything's back in order from the bed configuration that they have. So as you probably saw, these chairs flatten out. There's a little lever on the phone press right here. It makes the chairs flatten out to the bed. But otherwise, I am 6'3", so if that gives you any idea, kind of.
All right, I hear that too. That sound is absolutely unbearable. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't realize the GoPro handle was being so squeaky and creaky while I was turning it around and trying to show the room tour. I'm going to go ahead and cut that there, and I'm going to narrate what's happening because from here on out, the sound is absolutely abysmal as I'm showing you the different parts of the room. So let me go ahead and just pop myself down into the corner, and I'm going to narrate what's happening. I know for next time, I've got to get a better camera, and I've got to get a better microphone. But now I know. Fortunately, the trip's already over, and this is months later, and I'm editing right now. So let's go ahead and go from here, and I'll tell you what's happening. So I about fell over in the train right there. I'm 6'2", is what I was just saying. So this is a closet right here. You can put a few little odds and ends. You can hang a suit in there, maybe a coat. I didn't have that. My biggest suitcase is downstairs. I didn't check it, but it's sitting by the door. It's been okay, not a problem. So it'd be a little bit tight for that room. This is obviously the light control. There's temperature there. There's one outlet, so bring an extension cord, like I've said before. Here's a light switch there. You get your ceiling lights on and off. There's a night light, which is kind of a blue hue. You'll get that at nighttime as well. The music control here was tricky. Channel 1, what I found was the train announcements, and the other side is the volume to make sure it all works. If you're doubling up in this room, here's the top bunk. It's a little tricky to get down. I'm using one hand in this case as well, so it's not, instead of struggling here, yeah. You'll see that my backpack is up here too, so it's kind of a travel hack I learned before. Put your backpack or small things up there if you're traveling by yourself. Well, even if we were with somebody else, put it up there and then close up the bunk, and then you can store it there for free. So you got what you need up there. There's no window on the top bunk too, so if you're doubling up with somebody, top bunk's not gonna get a view, so There's a coat hook here for you. When you're sitting down here, you've got this table that you can fold out as well. It's a little short for I'm a tall guy, so my knees, it'll hit my knees, you'll see this, but you can set things on here. If you have to get up on the top bunk, here's a step that you use to get up there. My snacks are there right now, kind of a storage. It's a step ladder to get up. I'm 6'3" again, like I said, so when the bed's down, it'll fit pretty well. What's great about this though, everything's wider as well, but also it's longer. There's more space to like sit. This is where the airplane seat would be if it was on an airplane. I can stretch out, prop your feet up. If you're by yourself, it's great. If you're with somebody else, you might be bumping knees. These levers shift the seats out, they recline. That's what turns them into beds later in the night. You've got tissues. There's also a trash can for small paper bits. There's a lock here for the door. You see it flips over like that. You lock it in, lock it from the inside. Whenever you go out, you flip it over. But the problem is you can't lock it from the outside. So there's not really been any major issues just yet, but people generally leave their stuff alone. I would still keep things out of sight just to be safe. Better safe than sorry. So the curtains do close up. You've got Velcro that perfectly seals, everything seals up. It can be pretty dark in there if you need dark to sleep at night. That makes sense. For one person, this is awesome. Okay, again, I'm sorry for the sound quality of all that. I'm gonna go ahead and send you back to this audio right now. It's not great, I'm really sorry. Train noise is hard to record over, but it's what we got. Thanks for watching again. Here's back to the live stuff.
I think 2 people can do this easily. It's a little tighter, but you gotta have somebody who's able and willing to climb on the top. I've seen some older couples sharing these roomettes, and I don't know, as a taller person, I like having this kind of to myself, I'll say that too, but I think this would be just fine. Plus, if you do get cramped up, you've got the observation car, you've got other places you can go hang out and just get walking around and things. So, one of the downsides is, though, and I've mentioned before, is you only get to see one side. And so there's my one view. So a lot of my shots have been from the left side of the train, which is a bummer. If you ride the coast Starlight, try and get on the right side, because coming up here in Emeryville, San Francisco area, from there on down to LA, it's going to be ocean views, I think, from what it looks like on the map. We'll see what it ends up being, but that's going to be all on the right side. So I'm probably going to go hang out in the observation car right now. In fact, yes, I'm going to go to the observation car now, and we're getting into San Francisco. I don't know if I'll get a shot of the Golden Gate Bridge, but we'll find out pretty quick. Here we go. For that Angus burger every time, and I gotta branch out one of these trips. I think it's time. I'm gonna probably go and see how the shower is. Here's luggage storage, by the way. Down to the bottom of the car, there's some more restrooms here, and then we have the dressing room and shower room. Let's have showers in their rooms. They say they'd rather come down here because of all the space. Those are kind of like little mini closets. So, I got my stuff together and give it a shot. Alright, shower. It's a success. It's a pretty spacious shower down there. Plenty of hot water. I was worried about that. I love it. The drain is literally like a hole in the bottom of the train car, and you can see the track running by, and it just empties the water onto the ground. So really good. They have all the stuff you need. I brought my own soap and stuff, but they do have soap here. I don't think they have shampoo or anything like that. So, but luckily I had all my own stuff. So it's good. Shower's good.
dark in here. Turn the lights on. Let's see.
So a guy I was having lunch with is or his family's all ranchers in the area in California. And at the time we were going through this line of Salinas Valley, I think. I may be saying that wrong. He said that's where most of the vegetables and fruit stuff for the country come, like lettuce and strawberries and broccoli. Well, strawberries a little farther north, he said. So I'm seeing out here so much farmland and so much plains and fields of crops. This is kind of cool. And then seeing the workers out there, because a lot of it you got to pick by hand, he was telling us. We're seeing workers just en masse, just picking everything or tending to the crops, I guess. It's really kind of neat to be coming through this whole valley and this whole canyon. Also, I know all the footage I'm shooting is out of the left side of the train, but I'm just too comfortable to go anywhere else. I love this sleeper. I'm going to say a thing about being too comfy to move. I'm going to go ahead and head on down to the observation car because, yep, well, over the second hill over there is the ocean. But anyway, I'm going to sit in the Pacific Ocean for a little while while we get the cold one done. Okay, so as predicted, as I assumed, the observation car, of course, filled up. We got the ocean view over here, which hopefully you can kind of see behind me. But so instead, I'm going to take a minute to kind of tell you guys about something that I was a little confused about. You can find information, but it's, I still have some little nitpicky questions about the dining car that all worked on the trains. One of the questions I was wondering before I got on was how full do the cars get? If you're in a sleeper car, all of your meals are paid for, and they're included in your sleeper. And they come around and they ask you for reservations throughout the day. Probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours before the meals begin. Then when your time is called, you just come down and you sit down. If you're not in a sleeper car, you're in coach or business class, then you do have to pay for your meals. And my worry was, if I'm in coach, do I have access to the dining car? Yes, it seems to be that anybody who's on this train gets to eat if you want to. Even if they have to stay open a little bit later, they make sure you eat. So everyone's taken care of pretty well. If you want to cut back on the cost of food, which I'd recommend it because the meals do add up. Unless you're getting just the basic meal and then a glass of water, you should be okay. But if you're going to get a salad or get a soda or maybe get dessert, which I'd recommend, they're pretty good, then that's going to start to add up. So when I do the coach, I'm going to have lots of my own food. Or I went down to the lounge car, which is below the observation car. And it's a little bit cheaper, but it's also kind of like microwave goodies sort of things. Not bad, just the different style of food anyway. So should you bring your own food, bring snacks. Don't bring anything that's going to be frozen, obviously, or cold, or heated up, because you're not going to have a microwave or a cooler or a fridge. When you're in a sleeper, they give you a ticket, like a strip. You put your name on it, you put your room number, you put your car number, and then you give them that, and that's all you do. Then you order your meal, they bring it all out. When you're done, you just get up and go. There's no check to worry about. But what people forget is tipping. So you do want to have cash for tipping. You probably could tip with a credit card, but I think they have to run it differently. If you're not paying. Now, if you're paying for it, you're a coach, you use a credit card, yeah, you can tip normal, it's no problem. But yes, do tip your servers. This is a full service dining room experience. So of course you're going to tip your servers as well. Otherwise, the food itself is not bad. I mean, it's definitely train food, but it's good. I mean, people get picky about it, but I'd say, check your snobbery at the door. It's not going to be your fine dining 5-star restaurant, but it's not going to be airplane food. It's definitely a few steps up from that. A trick I did, by the way, to kind of maximize your experience in the dining car, look ahead on the schedule. If you got a map, or if you have like the Track Your Train website on the Amtrak website, look and see what you're going through at what times around dinner time, and try to get a reservation for that time. I timed it at Glacier when I was back on the Empire Builder. I timed dinner to be right when we hit the park, and so I got to sit and enjoying my dinner with a great group of people, looking at the most amazing scenery, valleys and canyons. So try and time your dinner to be in some cool places to look.
it's kind of fun being in the dining car. You meet a lot of cool people. You do get sat with strangers, unless you're in a group of 4, but I've talked about that before. And I would say most everybody I've sat with has been just a pleasure to sit with and talk to. And dining car staff is usually very, very good. They're very polite, very nice. They're going to take care of you and make sure you're happy. And they're, you know, funny. We talked about how, I told you in a different video about how Amtrak customer service is kind of 50-50. That's true over the phone and information desks and stuff, but when you're on the train, everybody here is looking out for you, including your car attendants, your conductors, the dining car staff. I'm seeing if I have any more questions, but everything else you can find answered pretty clearly on the websites or a little bit of digging online, but those are the ones I remember sticking out to me when I was first planning this trip. Definitely planning on the dining car. It's a good experience. And if you get a sleeper car, the dining car, like all the meals included, almost makes up for the extra cost. If you do what I did, you do the rail pass and then upgrade to a sleeper car in a couple segments, the cost of the food that you're saving almost makes up for that total cost of your dining car. I mean, to me, it knocks out at least half of it, if you think of it that way. So it's really kind of a good deal. I'm going to probably try and catch some more views of the ocean out here, but I'm going to start kind of getting my stuff together. We have about an hour or so until dinner, and then we're going to start packing up to get to Los Angeles. We're just about to pull out of Santa Barbara here. We've got a couple of hours, maybe 2.5 hours to get to LA. I've got a dinner reservation in a few minutes. I'm going to start packing my stuff up because I want to be ready to get off in LA. He was our car attendant. Super nice guy, really helpful. And of course, just about right when I end that last vlog, they call me for dinner. So here we go for dinner. Dinner's over. Time to go back. All right, got everything repacked. I'm the kind of guy that in hotel rooms that don't bother unpacking and putting things in drawers if I'm going to be there for a day or two. But on a train, that's like a must because you have very limited space. Use what you have. There's a storage downstairs in the entryway that I've had my main suitcase there, other than what I need up here for the last 2 days. I just had to haul it back downstairs though, so that's I'm a little winded. So use the space, unpack, get comfy, make this place your own. It really paid off. So, all right, we just got another hour and 2 or 3 stops till Los Angeles, but it's going to be like an hour or so, maybe a little more. I don't know. We'll find out. You never know. Always wanted to save money. We got the my Amtrak ticket billfold has an ad for Rango from March 4th, 2011. And on the inside, it's got an ad, but you can't see it, for a Kindle Nook, a Nook Color actually. So, you know, get a Kindle Nook and go see Rango. By the Van Nuys airport there. I don't know. So we're headed off now to go Starlight, about 20 minutes outside of LA. I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to film because I'm going to start kind of collecting stuff and cleaning up, which I did most of it already, so I think I'm good to just kind of chill and enjoy the view. That's the Coast Starlight, 36 hours from Seattle down to Los Angeles. Surprisingly ran pretty on time, but if it ever got behind, it caught itself back up. So we're actually getting in early. There's a lot of delays in terms of waiting for freight and other sorts, odds and ends as we go along, but that's just part of it. So anyway, Coast Starlight, really great sleeper car. I recommend it. This car itself, as I mentioned way earlier, I think the car is like one of the more modern, updated ones because everything's nice, clean. The lighting is very warm. I don't know if you can tell that here on my face or not. The biggest expenses to this one, other than the ticket itself, almost nothing. The tips is about the only money I spent. I think probably spent about 30 bucks in tips total. I mean, given all the meals, and I'm gonna be sure to tip the attendant for the cars as well. If you do the sleeper car, there's no expense, no extra expense other than what you're paying for your roomette. I hardly spent anything considering what I got to do today. But anyway, that's the Coast Starlight. Jump onto my next video to find out Los Angeles. It's going to start kind of weird because I'm getting in so late. I'm going to Uber straight to where I'm staying and probably not go out tonight unless something strikes me otherwise. But so it's going to start with me just going to sleep.
But that's the Coast Starlight, and we'll see you in Los Angeles.